Hi everybody, and a huge welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about 6 ways that you can continue to sketch throughout 2025. I find that by setting an intention or a goal or a plan for what to sketch, there is more likelihood that the sketchbook will get opened and marks will be made. Now, to provide some context, this video is especially tailored to those people doing my annual 30-day sketchbook challenge, which runs from the 1st to the 30th of January every year. However, all the information that I will share today will apply to anybody looking to continue sketching throughout 2025, or perhaps anyone that's come off the back of a course or a workshop or another challenge that is very specifically focused. These tips will help you to find a framework for making sure that you prioritise your sketching going forwards. So let's dive in. So one of the first things to do, and this may sound a little counterintuitive, after going through a course, a program, or a 30-day sketchbook challenge, is to actually give yourself a little bit of time to rest and recharge and perhaps just pause and reflect on what you have achieved over that period. For something like a challenge, and in particular 30-day sketchbook challenge, where we're doing 30 days of continued sketching in a row, that's a lot of activity, it's a lot of creativity, and we've been drawing on that creative brain for a long time, a number of days in a row. And actually taking time to kind of look back over what you've achieved, to go back through your sketchbook, or if you're doing a course or a program, to look back through all the work that you've done, all the marks that you've made, the sketchbooks you've filled, the paintings you have completed. This can be a really wonderful time, and it might be worthwhile just grabbing a notebook or a sketchbook and a pencil and making some notes about what you learned from the experience, what you loved about the experience, and perhaps things where it's given you ideas for further creative work, whether that's other sketching ideas, trips, paintings, whatever it might be. Just make some notes and take time to reflect. And at this point as well, as part of sort of rest and reflect, I think it's really worth going back and completing anything that perhaps you've missed or you didn't get a chance to explore fully. So perhaps if you're studying, that might be a course. If there's any modules or lessons you missed out on, go back and finish them. If you've been taking part in my 30-day sketchbook challenge, go back to perhaps any prompts that you've missed. Or maybe you had some days where there was a prompt that came up and you only had a short amount of time to do a very quick sketch. And actually what you'd personally like to do is go back and do some longer sketches based upon those initial ideas. So rest and reflect also means doing a little bit more work based upon ideas that you've done as part of the challenge. So can you do more sketching based upon the prompts that you really enjoyed? Now, for my second suggestion to keep on sketching throughout 2025, a really simple one is simply repeat the challenge. It's a really great way of going all the way back to the beginning and approaching it with fresh eyes. Once you've done a challenge, so let's say the 30-day sketchbook challenge, you've done 30 days of continuous sketching, and every day in that challenge, the prompts are a surprise. You don't know what's coming each day. When you come back to it a second time, you know what the prompts are. You've been through this journey once. So exploring it a second time gives you new perspective. Perhaps you can expand on what you've done or do different explorations of what you've perhaps sketched or started to do in the past. So as a really simple suggestion to keep sketching in 2025, repeat the 30-day sketchbook challenge a second time. Now, for my third tip on things to focus on is to just pick and explore one material, just one single material. So for example, throughout the 30-day sketchbook challenge, I personally have been doing a very small sketch every day, and I've been using different materials every day. What I could do is go back through that sketchbook and find a particular material that I want to explore further. And that could be as simple as a single pencil. It could be your fine liner pens, or it could be a material that you've discovered that someone else was using and you'd like to explore it too. And what I find is that by exploring a particular material, just that one material, time and time again in a sketchbook, so maybe give yourself a month, it gives you the opportunity to really explore what that material can do. There is nothing better than just getting to know your materials, and it means that you know what you're doing when you come to your sketchbook. You open your sketchbook, you grab your material you're going to work with, and off you go. So consider that for something to work on, perhaps for a month in 2025 as you get sketching. Now this year, throughout the 30-day sketchbook challenge, I've been running live Zoom sessions and chatting to people sketching on a regular basis. And one of the things that has come up is knowing what to draw, like after the challenge has ended. And what I think is a really great suggestion is have sketchbooks for different occasions, or create yourself a project sketchbook. So let me give you an example. I have a particular sketchbook that I take out when I'm going on walks or I'm drawing in the forest or the woods. And this is my landscape sketchbook. And within that, all I do is sketch landscapes in different places. And that's the sketchbook I grab for that particular thing. So grab a pencil, grab a notebook or a piece of paper, and write yourself a framework for a project. Timescale, materials, subject matter, and it's a really, really fun thing to focus you and enjoy sketching. Now, my fifth suggestion for ways to continue sketching throughout 2025 is to go bigger and perhaps create a body of work. Sketching doesn't have to always be in a sketchbook. I know that that's what I talk about a lot because I love the portable nature of a sketchbook, that you can carry it around. It's quite space efficient. However, it can be really lovely to come out of your sketchbook sometimes, work on paper, or even expand onto canvas or into textiles or any other medium that you really prefer. I know quite a lot of printmakers as well that start in their sketchbook and then explore into various print methods. So go back through your sketchbooks. Find a sketch that you like or a theme that you enjoy working with, and perhaps work it up into a bigger piece or a finished piece of art. And this could be something that you just take longer on, like a piece that you spend maybe a couple of weeks finishing, doing a little bit every day. But just see if you can expand yourself further into something bigger, or even a whole project or body of work. Now, for my final suggestion for ways to stay inspired and to keep sketching throughout the year is to find or join a community. As I've been working through the challenge and chatting to people, chatting to students, challengers, artists, one of the benefits that generally has been highlighted by having a hobby or taking part in community sketching is the fact that you meet lots of wonderful people. And this could be as simple as finding a local art class or club. I know lots of artists that will run things like urban sketching groups, or groups that meet up regularly and go off sketching together. And this could be a paid event, or it could just be a free community event. These are super, super fun. You can also join online courses, so find an online teacher that can help you with your sketching journey. And for myself, for example, I do have online courses in sketching, and I do have my wonderful Inspire sketching community where we work to a new theme every month, and you follow tutorials and have a lot of fun continuing as part of a group that sketches together. There is nothing better than sharing the joy of sketching with other people. And those other people really do get the fun of working in sketchbooks, the frustration of drawing sometimes, and the enjoyable experiences of going to art shops and geeking out about all the sorts of pencils, paintbrushes, and pens. And to be able to share that with other people can really help to keep you inspired, and that you're not alone. So go and seek a community to support you in some way, shape, or form, whether that is face-to-face, online, or any variation thereof. Go find your community, go find your tribe, and they will be there to support you through your sketching journey. So I hope throughout this video, perhaps you've taken some notes or had a little think about which one of these tips or paths might be right for you. And it might be a combination of a few of these suggestions, and you work through them throughout the course of the year. And if you haven't, don't worry. Perhaps rewind the video, go back to the beginning, and make a decision as to what you'd like to focus on first going forward. If you would like to know more about my sketching membership Inspire and are perhaps curious about what we get up to, do take a look at the next video, which is my trailer, just giving you a little bit of a sneaky peek into all the wonderful sketchy goodness that we get up to every month. So whatever you decide to do for the rest of 2025 in your sketchbooks, I hope you have a really fabulously creative time enjoying it. Happy sketching!